All right. Good morning, folks. Welcome to Coffee and Craps with John here from Craps on Casino Gaming TV. Let's get into it. I want to give you a little rundown here of where we are with a couple things. One is going to be the gunslinger. I'm working my paycheck. Working the paycheck this week, and I got down here a little bit late. My wife was talking to me, so I don't have the numbers. Just do it together. I'm going to go ahead and switch screens here. And let's put in the numbers that we have here. And the roll count here is wrong, so I'm guessing at the roll counts. But I'm going to copy this row in here 4 times. 2, 3. This is how I do this. 4 times. Yesterday, our third run yesterday. Actually, there's one extra. I have one too many. Delete that row. Yesterday, our second run, we lost about $1,185 or so. When I tried to catch back up, I came back out there and we got tore up by the 7s. So it didn't work so well in that run. But today, this is going to be 3-7. 3-7, actually. Let's make that all days. The first time we made 488. The second one we made 560 something. I think 560. And the last time I made $600. So here we are. Today we are 5-1 with an 1823 total and 36.46%. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in here. We're 5-1. We are at 18. What did I say it was? 18 something. 1823 and 36%. 1823, 1,823 and 30 whatever. My memory sucks. 36.46. 36.46%. Cool. Yeah, let's go back over here and we'll talk through the thing now that I have my screen fixed up. There it is. 5-1, $1,800 in profit. Bummer that we lost yesterday, right? That middle loss sucked. And I had that crazy ass run of 7s, right? In the morning, we kind of went down a little bit. I tried to go back in the afternoon and fight for it, and it didn't work. The fight didn't happen. We ended up losing, like I said, about 1,100 and change or whatever it was. Brings our total for the week down to where it could have been. But I'm trying to get as many trials as I can. And what you're finding with this strategy is a couple things, right? All the 5 wins that happened, all of the 5 wins except for one of the wins today happened like terrible snap. What's wrong with my fingers? Happened quick. Happens really quick. Like you win, boom, 5, 6, 7 rolls, you're in and you're out, you're tapping. Ken on his show has had the same thing, right? You win it quick, you're in and you're out kind of thing. Because the 4s and 10s they run, you're good. If they aren't running, what we're finding is that you need to get the insides to work, and the insides had better do some work. If they don't work in the afternoon session, the insides did nothing. 1 or 2 hits, and that was all I got. You're just going to sit there and just kind of bleed down the hill like a snowball. So it was kind of brutal if it doesn't work out well. But anyway, so far we're doing good. We're 5-1. I'm liking it so far. Ken and I talked on the phone already today. We have another couple of tweaks to maybe try, but yeah, it's going good. It's a fun one. And a reminder, there will be no shows next week. I'm just letting you know now. Let's actually just go to the come out roll. We got to do this first. That's actually before I come out roll. Let's do the douchebag segment. You might be a douchebag if you don't tip your crew. Man, nothing drives me more nuts. Now I have been the person that has not tipped a crew because the crew sucks, right? If they're giving you good service, give them a tip. They're making minimum wage, generally speaking, so they're living on tips, which is, we can have that debate of whether, them making minimum wage is a legit thing or not, right? The casino is not only squeezing you dry for your bets and your gambling, they're also forcing you to pay extra salary for their employees, right? It's kind of a douche move on their part, actually. But I digress. If they're giving you good service, drop them tips. I'd like to drop tips ahead of time. I'd buy in and give them a quarter out of the gate. Like, here, take care of me. I don't like to bet so much for them while I'm playing because I hate when I bet for the dealers and it loses and they get nothing out of it. They got a thrill, but they get no money. But yeah, if you're that guy that's just not tipping ever, because a lot of people just don't tip just because it's like not in their nature to do so, don't be a douchebag. These guys are working their asses off for the most part. They're good for the most part. They're nice for the most part. And they're working for nothing. So it's all about us, rewarding good service with good pay. So we got to take care of them. So take care of your dealers. Don't be a douchebag. Tip your crew. Now, on the come out roll, I got a bunch of things to talk about. So first of all, I didn't put it up on here, but next week I'm gone. So actually Friday we take off. I'm going to Jersey for my father's 80th birthday, which is going to be great. I plan to play at least one day, probably Saturday afternoon down in AC. I'm not sure when, where or when yet. Just sometime Saturday, and I think sometime I might go to Parks on Saturday night. We'll see. But I know that on Tuesday we're going to Cape May and coming back up, and we may go to the casino in Philly. The Hare, I think the Hare is in Chester Tuesday night. So I'll let you guys know on the East Coast what I'm doing, and if we can get together, let's do it. If we can figure out a way to make it work, let's make it work. But yeah, no live shows next week. I may record some stuff and put them out as premieres, so there's something to watch in the mornings. But that's my plan. My plan is to put something out for you that won't be live, but it'll be me. So there's that. What's happening here? Friday Night Fight. So because of that, Friday Night Fight will be a new battle. It's going to be Old Bay. Craig from Old Bay Craps is going to take on the new champion, Glenn Anderson. That's your new battle. Jeff and Chris from Dice Degen will handle the dealing on that one for us. I got to announce this too. Ken from Ken Knows Gambling has started a new thing. Now, he's doing lives all the time now, and he's raising money for St. Jude's for the kids. As you know, we're doing our annual Craps for the Cure thing in November. I'll start ramping up the information on that. We were going to do St. Jude's. I think we're going to go with something for the vets, either PTSD, direct donation to a person that we know trains dogs for vets with PTSD, or a more generalized PTSD foundation that handles vets as well as civilians with PTSD. So that's going to be our thing. But Ken is doing St. Jude. So during his lives, if you donate during his live with a super chat, he runs a little game, gets you an entry into a contest. At the end of the year, he's doing something big with that. So get on Ken's channel, watch him live, do his thing, and you can drop a few bucks here and there for that. That'd be a huge help. Chiro from Midmo Yo is doing a thing. Why did I say new champion? What am I doing here? New champion. What the hell? I must have copied and pasted wrong. Let me. Oh, jeez. God, John. I'm telling you what. Today's not my day. Midmo Yo has a new challenge. I spelled it wrong. New challenge. And that's going to be on March 13, 15, 17, and 18. And what he's doing there with this challenge, let me get this back up again. There we go. His challenge is basically a Crapsy challenge. He's going to run Crapsy for 3 nights. He's going to give you a bankroll that lasts, no rebuys, last all 3 nights. The top 4 players get to play on Saturday, the 18th. And so it's 3 days of kind of run up to it. On Saturday, you play live on his table with live chips, not Crapsy. And what he's done is he's made 4 chips that have like sapphires and rubies and diamonds embedded in the chip. So they're worth something. And he actually, as a jeweler, made them for us, which is kind of cool. So the top 4 people will get their hands on at least one of those chips, which I think is awesome. Now, I can't play because the 13th and 15th and 17th, I'm going to be, actually the 17th I'm flying. That's my day, my fly day back home to Seattle. So I can't do it. I wish I could do it. I'd love to get one of those chips. Maybe I'll buy one from you. That'd be kind of cool. So anyway, and also Dice Degen's March Madness. Degen, talk and chat about your March Madness tournament. When is that going to start? I got 2 entries in it because I'm a dude. He's going to run the Horseman just as a strategy, and then I get to play live. I'm going to play the Philly Special live. So we're going to do that, and hopefully he rolls some rolls for me. Craig Obey says, thanks, gentlemen. Yeah, Craig, you're going to rock it. It'll be fun. It'll be fun to get you back in there. I think you dealt once way back, right? And I'm not sure if you played. I forget if you played in it or not. But anyway, good to have you back in there again. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. First match recording today, says Dice Degen. So that's cool. Help everybody out, right? You got Ken donating, raising money. You got Midmo Yo doing his challenge. You got Degen doing his March Madness. I'm not doing anything special, but I'm just here to hang out with y'all. So yeah, lot of good stuff going on. So what's next? What is next? Oh, you know what's next? Dark Side. Tales from the Dark Side. Let's talk about it, guys. Let's get some Dark Side stuff in here. Yesterday, what did we learn? We learned yesterday from Wincraps that hedging the 7 or the Yo is not a good idea, right? We learned that because we watched a player who played just flat old don't bets, right? Ended up, I think, losing $100 or making $100, whatever it was. Basically what you'd expect, right? That's the house edge you saw. The player who did a tiny little $5 ladder made good money. The player that hedged the yo and the hopping reds or the any sevens, that player lost like $4,000. And the player who did the laying, we did the 4 and 10. It wouldn't matter what we laid. When you lay to protect your come out, that player lost about $2,000 too. So the lay to protect and the hedging to protect does not work. It just doesn't work over time. We did it over a huge sample size of live casino table rolls. So I can do it over and over again. It'll prove the same thing out. It feels good. And like in the moment, and Jen and I were talking about this yesterday over in a comment on a video. In the moment, in the short term, when that little window that you're in, it feels right. Let me just drop a lay bet out here to save this money, okay? That decision can come. It's not a mathematical decision. It's a field decision. It's a bankroll decision. So know this. If you're down to your last $100 and you want to get a $25 don't pass out, I can 100% understand laying the 9 for $60 or $45 because your bankroll is saying, I can't lose that $25, right? I would say this over the course of your life, when you're playing 10, 20, 30,000 rolls over the course of many, many, many sessions, over time, that's not a smart move. In the moment, I can see the smart move. And I think somebody said it yesterday. I forget who was it said it. Was it Ken? Somebody said it. Oh, Greg said it yesterday, which is a smart thing. And because I think this came up with Alfredo too with me the other night. With like, how often do you let yourself get beat on the don't? Do you take come out sevens, and you keep putting your don't pass bet out there? I'll tell you this: over time, over 10,000 rolls, it doesn't matter. In that moment when I've only got $200 left, I'm probably not putting money out on the don't pass anymore, right? You're going to make a bankroll call there. And what Greg was saying, he said this perfectly. If you're getting punched in the face, you cover your face, right? That's what you do. You get out of there, right? You're getting punched over and over again. You do something to change the fact you're getting your ass kicked. That might be a time to lay. That might be a time to not play it. But if you walk around with your face covered so you don't get hit, just in case somebody's going to punch you, that's hedging to protect the 7. That's laying to protect the come out when you don't need to, right? If you walk around the world with your face covered, just in case you're going to get hit, you're going to miss everything. You're missing everything if you do that. That's what hedging does to you, right? In the moment, though, if you're in a bad situation, cover your face so you don't get your nose broke, right? It's a great analogy. So we learned that yesterday. Today, working on odds. I got some Wincraps scripts that are cooking over here. We're going to work on our odds play. And I'm going to show you a bunch of options with the odds here. We can alter some bet levels. Now, what I didn't do with Wincraps this time, I will alter the script to take input from you, but I wanted to get it done fast and have 5 guys run at the same time. So I'll explain to you when I show you the code here in a second what I could have done and what I will probably do for the next version of this when I put it out there. So why don't we go ahead and take a look at Wincraps real quick. Let me get my screen changed. And let's see, do I have it running already? RDP, I may not have it running. Hold on a second. Let's get over there. We'll continue this. I should have had this open, I'm sorry. Let's see, let's go over here. Oh, geez. All right, there it is. Let me get this changed for you. All right. Give me a sec here. Sorry, I was not prepared. Should have been prepared. What is Vince saying here? DC or DP equals the same, come out 7 versus PSO, all the same. I get you. It's a lot of that's just timing. Here we go. Let's go log into here. I'm going to make these things as big as I can make them so you can see them. So give it, and I got all these players up here. Look at all the players I got. I got players. Let's go. Let's get this thing nice and large. Hopefully you can see the code here well enough. Now the code's not terribly interesting, but let's look at what we got here. I got don't pass clean. This is the guy from yesterday. All he's going to do, he has one move. All this other stuff up here is literally just to track his bankroll, right? His one move and his one only move is this. If the next roll's a come out roll, he's betting his base bet on the don't pass. He's betting $25 on the don't. Done. That's the flat. He's going to be our control experiment, okay? We know he's going to lose about $100 or win about $100. He's basically playing for the house edge. The tiny ladder guy, right? This guy here is laddering on a winning bet we reduce our bet by $5. If we lose a bet, we increase it by $5. It's a $5 ladder. Okay, his base bet is 5, his ladder amount is 5. He's going to start out by betting 25 on the don't. If the next roll is a come out and his don't pass is less than $25 because we laddered down to 20 or something, he's going to bet his base bet. That's the only thing. Otherwise, he's going to ladder up, ladder down. No big deal. Nice and simple. Okay, that's that. So we know he's going to win too. We saw him yesterday. This guy wins too. He does it, right? Now, here's the interesting ones. We'll look at one guy here. We'll look at the max odds guy. This one is simple. Wincraps for this is simple, okay? If next roll is a come out roll, we're going to actually not do this. Next roll is a come out roll. We're not going to hop nothing. It's a base bet on the don't pass. That's all he's going to do, okay? Max odds player is going to do a base bet on the don't pass on a come out roll, but I've trained Wincraps to tell him auto lay full odds. So he's going to drop full odds on every single bet, no matter what. That's it. Okay, the max bet guy is going to be like, don't pass, max odds, versus a don't pass with no odds. Here's the two interesting ones, okay? Don't pass with single odds. This guy's doing this. Essentially, if, I got to change a little bit of the wording in here, I think, because if next roll's a come out roll, then I got to actually add some juice in here. I got to do, hold on, let's do this. I messed up his odds, I think. So I'm going to take this piece out of here. You have to watch me code in person. The single odds person. Come on, baby. Don't pass single odds. Okay, if point is established, then we're going to have to do this. We're going to say, then if point is a 4 or a 10, we're going to do CS6, which is our odds play, which is $30. CS6 dot odds times 2 on the don't pass. Okay, single odds means you're going to win 1 times your flat bet. Okay, if it's the 5 and 9, right, we're going to do CS6 dot odds times 3. Okay, because that's going to go ahead and put $60 out there. That'll win 40, a little bit better than your base bet. And if it's the 6 or 8, we'll do just the odds. One more thing right there. Booyah. If it's any 6 or 8, wish Wincraps had a CS6 odds on the don't pass. That's it. So it's going to be about single odds here for this guy. I have one extra if statement that I'll get rid of. And there we go. So the single odds, if it's a 410, it's going to be the odds times 2. So it's going to be betting $60 in odds to win 1 time to win single his flat bet. 5 and 9 is going to be odds times 3. It'll be 90 to win 60. That's actually wrong. It should be times 2, right? Because 2 would win you 1. 60 would win you 40. That's enough. And 6 and 8 just bets the odds. That's a single odds player. Here's the one that's going to be interesting, the progressive odds. Okay, the progressive odds is going to be cool. Okay, this comes to us from Darksider. He's a frequent flyer here in the chats. This is literally the exact thing I do in reverse for the 3-point Johnny. When I play the 3-point Johnny, when I do come bets, okay, I maximize my odds on the 6 and 8. I have half or so odds on the 5 or 9. I have no odds on the 4 or 10. Why? I want to put more money out there when I have a better chance to win. And I want to put less money out there when I have a bigger chance to lose. That outperforms a straight molly. It does, because where the odds go. Darksider has done the same thing. The progressive odds play is this. Check this out. When we establish a point, if it's going to be a 4 or a 10, right? He does his base bet times 10, which is a 5x odds table. Base bet times 10, max odds on the 4 and 10, okay? If it's a 5 or 9, he's doing 3x odds, okay? So 3 times the flat bet. It's gonna go to $90 on a 5 or a 9, or $75 in this case to win double the flat bet. If it's a 6 or 8, there are no odds. So he's basically saying, I'm not gonna put extra money out there when I'm at a disadvantage, or not a disadvantage, but when I have a less of a hammer. he's putting more money out there when he's got the bigger hammer. You see this? This is progressive odd. This is coming to us from dark side. Let's see how this one performs. And I have one more person out there who I think is called reverse odds, which does that same thing, but upside down. He goes max bet on the 6 or 8. He goes a little bit on the 5 and 9 and no odds on the 4 and 10. Basically, he's making the power of the flat bet run the day on the 4 and 10 and trying to hammer the 6 or 8 when they come out. Okay? Let's see how these guys do. This is going to be interesting. The reverse odds and the progressive odds. I love the progressive odds because it's, like I said, it's literally what I do when I play the 3-point Johnny, but it's 3-point Johnny from the don't. 3-point Dolly, maybe you call it. All right, here we go. Let's run these things out. I'm going to go ahead and save everything. We're going to game new. I want to save my script. Yes, I do want to save my script. Yes, I do want to save it. I do not want to save my session. I'm going to rewind the bets. This is going to be the first time we're going to run it. Is going to be against my dice rolls. This is going to be the John's roll file. This is my garage practice set. Uh-oh, I have an error in my script. What? Where's the error? Ah, geez, I must have. What did I do there? Okay, stop, please. There we go. Computer restarted itself. You son of a bitch. Sorry, guys. Give it a second to fire back up again. There we go. I must have hit the paste button or something. Let's try this again. There we go. All right. Sorry about that. Game new. Game. This is what happens when you work with a virtual machine like this. Yes, I do want to save it. Okay. Now, I'm working off of the John rolls. This is the rolls that I ran in the garage that time. Okay, this is all my practice rolls. I'm going to go ahead and do this again. We'll have a new window for all of them. There's going to be 6 of them. Good Lord, I'm going to have to make these things kind of small. Again, I should have had this ready to go. I'm sorry. Let's make them a little smaller so they fit. Let's do another one. Put it over here. Another one, put it up here. Another one, we'll put it over here. My God, there's so many of these damn things. And another one, we'll put it down here. There's so many scripts going at the same time. But let's see what they do. I want you to watch the graphs, okay? So here we're going to be don't pass clean. Here we'll do the tiny ladder. Here we will do the don't pass with single odds. Down here we'll do the don't pass with progressive odds, or max odds rather. Here we'll do the don't pass with progressive odds, and here we'll do the don't pass with the reverse odds. Now you have all 6 players on screen at once. And here we go. Let's run a few thousand rolls and see what happens. Sorry for all that. Takes a hot minute, but you can see the difference in volatility between these guys, right? So the flat better and the tiny presser guy, pretty flat, right? Their lines are pretty flat. The guys with the odds, look at how jagged their lines are. Especially the max odds guy. His line's up and down all over the place because they're experiencing volatility because they have more money out there. So this will just take a second. We're at roll 998. Why is it taking so long? Do I have other things running? I don't. Just because I'm running 6 of them probably is why it's taking so long. So we'll give it a minute. And then I'll do it again with that 50,000 rolls. And then we'll talk about options that we have. Almost there. We're halfway through my rolls. And then I hope you can see the numbers. Their total bankroll will change in a second here. Let's get that down. Look at how flat that. Look at how flat the don't pass is. Never has any variation, right? You play a flat don't, you can sit there all damn day. If you're going to go to the casino to drink for free and just like talk to your buddies, like play the flat don't. Look at that line. You don't win any money. You don't lose any money. You sit there and bleed the house edge away over the course of 5,000 rolls. All right, here we are. End of dice roll. So we ran 3,500 rolls. How did everybody end up? Well, here's what happens. Let's go to this screen here. Yes, where's the thing? So the don't pass player, clean don't, won $500. Just playing $25 in the don't wins $500. The player who played single odds won $595. The player who played max odds won less. He won $160. The player who did the progressive odds, 2,400 bucks. That's 5 times what the flat player won. The player with the reverse odds lost 2K. And the player who did the tiny ladder, the 5-unit press that we saw yesterday, wins 1,500 bucks. Who's your winners? Everybody but the reverse odds. The reverse odds is not going to work, right? A matter of fact, I'm going to take him away. We can just eliminate that as even a possibility. It's not a good way to do it. It just doesn't work to do that. Now we have eliminated one. We're down to 5 players. 5 players that I think have a chance to do something special here. This is pretty cool. Okay, that was my rolls. That was my controlled shot. Let's run the same comparison, okay, on, and again, I don't roll a lot of come out 7s. And this is part of the story here. I told you before, in my controlled shooting, I don't throw a lot of come out 7s, which means a don't pass player on me doesn't get whacked as much on the come out. That's why some of these guys have won. I'm going to change out the dice roll file. We're going to go to action, dice roll files. I'm going to change it out. We're going to go to, let's see, file, open. We're going to go to the 50,000 rolls, right? This is the one that was logged from the casino. This is 50,000 casino rolls, okay? Let's do the exact same comparison. I'm going to go game new. Not saving anything. We're going to rewind, and we're going to run. We'll do about 10,000 rolls out of this set, okay? It'll take a while because we're running 5 at a time, but this will be interesting when you see the difference here on a random set of data. And this is not RNG, right? This is somebody writing rolls down at the table. This is 50,000 rolls running down at the table. So we're going to see, again, I'll go to about 10,000 here. Otherwise, it'll take too damn long. And we'll get to it. So here we go. Give us a second here. And again, volatility, you can see how jagged some of these lines are. Let me minimize that screen. Again, flat don't player is just hanging around, right? The tiny ladder guy has got some volatility. He's making some money. The flat or the max odds guy is all over the place. Progressive odds player is kind of all over the place. And the single odds player is relatively flat. I'm going to stop it at, let's stop it at like 10,000. I think we'll just let it go for a second. I'll look at if bankroll ends 525, it says 1,500. I'm not oh, because Jen, what happens is I'll explain when I get there. These on the main screen are the total totals. I'll explain that to you in a minute, how that works. Let's let this thing finish, and then I'll run it through. I'll run it through to you. 5,000 rolls in. I want to get to about 10 before I pull the plug on this run here. I can go to 50,000, but it takes 15 minutes to get there, and you don't want to watch graphs go for 15 minutes. Oh yeah, it does get slow, and when I have 5 of these things going at once, it definitely slows the train down a little bit. Yeah, there's no other stats running. So Jen, as you watch this, if you see these things on, and I don't know if you can see them, how the line kind of goes down on one of these things, how it kind of drops down to 0. Like watch the graph lines, they sometimes drop to the bottom. That's the bankroll resetting. So what I'm doing here is I run the strategy. If it hits $500 win or $1,000 in loss, it resets the bankroll to $5,000. Okay. Now it tracks the total number of wins and losses over the entire session here, but it also resets to 5K every single time. It simulates a paycheck, basically. So it simulates 500 or 1,000 in walking is what it's doing. So the bankroll, the ending bankroll might be like 525 because it was in the middle of one of those sequences. But overall, it tracks the entire wins. Nothing in here is being pressed really, so it doesn't matter that we stop in the middle and restart it again. And that's the point. Okay, stop the drive. Let's see where we are. Stop it. Let's look at where folks are. Okay, interesting results here. The progressive odds player has lost money this time. He's minus 2,000. Now, that may be because the run that we're in is in a negative downturn. Everybody else won some money. The tiny ladder guy, by the way, 3,800 bucks in the first 10,000 rolls. Holy moly, right? Clean don't pass won 1,000. The don't pass with single odds won 620. Don't pass max odds won 635. I can tell you this. When I run this thing all the way to the end of the 50,000 rolls, what happens is the progressive odds guys over here wins about 10,000. The end of this roll file has a couple of really interesting runs in it where the don't pass just destroys things. And so the progressive odds player wins more. Over time, the progressive odds player proves out to be one of the better plays, believe it or not. I still think the tiny ladder is the one, to me, that seems the best. That little bit of ledge, the little bit of $5 ledge is really where we see the rubber hit the road. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to go ahead and restart it again. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to do two things at once. Watch us multitask. We're going to go new, game new. I'm going to not save the stats. I'm going to say, okay, rewind, and I'm going to start it again. But I'm going to switch our screens. We're going to go to the table while that's going. Hopefully this will work. There we go. There's my table. Let me turn the light on. Let's work through some of this stuff. We can play it out, and I can show you what these things kind of look like on a real table. So let's get a bunch of don't passes out here. Let's actually go. I'll give you a sense of the volatility of this thing. Let me do, let's see, that's a green, that's a red. Sorry, I got stuff everywhere over here. There's blacks. Okay, let's put a bunch of guys. Boom, 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 boom. 5 guys on the don't, right in front of you. Okay. And we'll play a couple of hands here. Yeah, they're all going to work kind of the same thing, but I'll let you see what this looks like in person. There's an 11. They all lose. Let's pretend like that didn't happen. I just want to show you the kind of the odds progressions here. So there's a 5, a 3, 2, 5. All right, so on a 5, here's what you would do, right? One player is going to stay. We'll make this guy that ladder guy. Maybe we'll see 4 of them. This guy here is going to do single odds. Okay, so what you're looking to do here when you're playing a true single odds game, I'm looking to win a quarter, roughly. The odds of 45 bucks on a 5 or 9, your odds have got to be divisible by 3. Okay, so 45 wins 30. Okay, so it pays 2 to 3. So 45 would win you 30 bucks. That's what his odds are going to be. He's going to lay 45. He'll win a little bit more than the flat bet, but the 5 and 9 are weird that way, okay? On this guy here, he's going to play max odds. Now, if he's playing max odds, or actually, well, let's let this guy here play double odds. He's going to look to win about 50 bucks, okay? You can't really win like this. You're going to go $75 on odds because you're going to get paid 2 to 3, okay? 2 to 3. That would pay double the flat bet, okay? This is the progressive player. This is the single odds player. The progressive player is going to have double the risk. He's going 45. He's going 75 to win 50 versus winning 30. So he's laying 75 in odds. Okay, the last guy here on the end, the max odds guy, now on a 3, 4, 5 table, okay, he can go 6 times the flat. Okay, he can put out 150 to win 100. Now, if you're playing 5x odds table, that changes. If you're at a 5x odds table, he can put about 7 or so times his bet. He can get out to like 190 or something like, or 180 to win 5 times the flat. We're going to keep it nice and simple and play a 3, 4, 5 game. So here he's going to put 150 out to win 100. So progressive odds is looking to win about half what this guy's looking to win, right? He's winning max odds, 100 bucks. He's winning about half. He's winning 1 unit. The other guy's going to just do nothing and let the roll happen. Okay. They all had the same risk on the come out. They all did the exact same thing when we came out. So the no advantage anywhere. We're not doing any hedging. Let's have this roll resolve itself. There's a yo, and we'll get them all paid up here in a second and see what happens. 7. All right, everybody gets a 7, so they all win. They all win 25 on the flat. Okay. The second guy wins $30 extra. This guy here wins 50 bucks extra, and this guy here wins 100 bucks extra. And there's it's not even a home run, right? But that's the power of odds on the don't. Even though people say, I don't want to bet more to win less. Yeah, you bet 150 to win 100, but on one roll of the dice, right, you have a bit of a home run play that's kind of built into that thing. So that's pretty cool. Let's do one more. Maybe we'll have a little bit of a loss here and just give you a sense of what a loss might feel like for these guys. We can simulate it while that, and I'm just doing this because my Wincraps is rolling right now. It's doing 57,000 rolls. So let's burn some time here. Okay, here we go again. We'll come out again. Let's get a new number. It's going to be a, ooh, look at that, ace deuce. Everybody wins. Okay, remember that 7 from before? Or the 11 before everybody lost? Now we got it back. I said to me that's a 10, by the way. The 11 and the 1 2 and the ace deuce and the aces, that's a wash for me. Here we go. Let's get all the odds out again. So again, single odds player, he's got to put out 50 bucks, right? 50 bucks to win 25. He's trying to win the single odds. Okay, the progressive odds guy is going to maximize it out. Now again, you can only do 3, 4, 5. Right? You can only do 6x. We're going to do, and both these guys will be in the same boat. They're both going to maximize the odds on the 4. Okay, 6 times that. The other guy, same thing. So these two have the exact same. The progressive odds player will sometimes match the max odds guy on the 4 or 10. Oh, look at this. Disaster strikes. We got a 3-1-4. Right? Everybody loses, and here's where this guy's going to start seeing some advantage, okay? So remember, he won last time the 25 bucks on that last shooter. So the tiny press guy is doing this. He's coming back out at 30 bucks, a little 1-unit press. Everybody else is doing a single flat, okay? Single flat bets for the rest of the guys. And they're going to have to make their money back through odds play. So if we have a nice win, it's going to take them a couple times to recover. These two guys both lost 150 bucks back here, right? For them to win that 150 back, they have to win 2 times. That's the problem with laying odds, right? There's an issue with that. It wins money, but the issue back here is it takes a lot to come back from it. Let's come back at a new point. There's an 8, okay? So on the 8, this is going to get interesting. He's staying the same. This guy down here, the single odds play, right? He's going to bet 30 bucks. He's putting 30 bucks, putting them behind. 30 bucks to win one odd, right? To win 1 unit. This guy, the progressive guy, no odds on the 6 or 8. Max doesn't care. He's going out for 150, looking to win 1 1/4. Okay? So the max odds guy will recover what he lost a lot quicker if we get a 7 here. This guy here is not going to play hard against 6 or 8. He's going to let his flat bet play. That's where the volatility changes in the Wincraps. That's why you see those big fluctuations in Wincraps for these guys. Because look at that. He was hammering the 4 and 10. He's got nothing here right now. If we roll a 7 here, we'll see what happens. He's going to walk out of here with a win, but he didn't really gain any ground. All he gets back is the flat bet that he lost last time. He's still down the 150. Follow me? There's the 8. So now they all get crushed, right? This guy's going to lose his odds and his flat. He's going to lose his flat. He's going to lose everything down here, and that's why progressive player does not play against the 8, okay? This guy here will go up to 35 bucks. There's the $5, the tiny press guy. Everybody else just goes back out. The advantage over here, this guy's lost 50 bucks, okay? He's out here at 35. Let's just run him through real quick. Let's say that we win right here, and he wins 35 bucks, and he comes back down, and he wins 30 bucks, and he comes back down to his flat. He's got his money back plus a profit, right? The 2 losses that he experienced, he has back plus, and he's back playing again. Everybody else, if they win 2 times, will not be back to 0, except for the flat bet guy. He'll be exactly at 0. So that's why this little tiny press works. That's interesting. If you're going to ladder, full ladder, you're in deep trouble. But the half ladder works pretty well. So anyway, that's just what they look like when you're playing them out. Where's our Wincraps? Is Wincraps done yet? Holy crap, it's only at 30,000. Are you kidding me? I talked for like 10 minutes, and it's only at 30,000 rolls. Let's take a look at progress. Progress being made. We're roll 30,000. Let's stop it here. Let's just see where we are. Get a little progress check. Stop the hyperdrive. All right, where are we at? Who's made money? Look at this. Look who's made money. The flat, clean, don't pass player has lost $2,000, right? The single odds player has lost $3,000. The max odds player has lost $3,400. The progressive odds player has now taken the lead. He's at $1,700. Remember, he had lost before, right? Now he's picked it up a little bit. And the tiny ladder guy is only down about $800. When this thing finishes out, the tiny ladder guy and the progressive guy will both be the dominant forces. They'll both be up over a few $1,000. That's the way that works. Now, let's go back to review the code here. I think there's some things we can change and things that I think would be interesting to look at. Let's just pick the progressive odds guy for an example here. One thing we can change is this. We can say the base bet is $25. I can make the base bet 10, right? $10 base bet with max odds, right? What would he have looked like instead of 25 if he had a smaller flat? And it'd be kind of fun to see what does it look like when there's a smaller flat, $25 flat, plus all the odds versus a $5 flat with the same odd size. Like that's going to be a test that I'll run later on. I'm going to write that code later on to see 25 with 25 in odds versus 5 with 25 in odds. And you got to be at a 10x table to make that work, right? I want to see what that looks like. I want to see what this looks like when you give it logic. Like for example, let's say if last roll was a come out roll and don't pass loses, don't bet the next time, right? Like if you have 2 successive losses on the come out, don't bet. If you have successive come out wins, stack the wins. So those are going to be some options that I explore here in future scripting, but I wanted to get a basic flat versus odds. No other logic built into this thing. Tomorrow we're going to talk about betting systems, and we'll start looking at some systems betting in terms of like a 1, 2, 3, 4 or a 1, 4, 2, 3. All these different ways of playing the flats as along with the odds. So that's going to happen tomorrow. So there's that. Let's come back over here, and we'll talk not that screen. I want to go back to the keynote screen. So what did we learn today? We learned today that odds work. But interestingly enough, the ladder, the small ladder, is equivalent to or almost equivalent to playing a progressive odds system. The progressive odds system seems to me, again, without other logic, without putting in don't get beat twice, without putting in a varying flat bet size. On its face, flat bet for flat bet, the progressive odds system is better than max odds. It's better than single odds, and it's a little bit better than that tiny $5 ladder. It's like a 20% ladder that we're doing. Those two are the dominant forces right now. I'm going to keep those two playing, and I'm going to get rid of the other ones. Now that we know, right? Now that we have learned that, and I say no, we pretty much know that progressive odds makes sense. And I'm loving this because progressive odds on the come make sense too, right? Max odds on 6 and 8, half odds on 5 and 9, no odds on 4 and 10 when you're come betting. Max odds 4 and 10, half odds 5 and 9, no odds 6 and 8 when you're don't betting, right? Playing the odds in the right form, the right shape, changes everything when you run it in Wincraps. And I'm going to go ahead and get, maybe next week, I'll do a 3-point Johnny from the come and a 3-point Dolly with progressive odds from the don't. We're going to run them side by side. I bet you they both make money on the same set of rolls because that progressive odds play it's a game changer. It really is. I've been doing it for years on the come side. I think the don't side here, that makes nothing but sense. It makes nothing but sense. So there it is. Vince has said matrix blockchain 35 times. I have no idea what you're talking about. You got to do a video on it. If you did one, I didn't see it. So I have no idea what you're talking about, but you keep talking about it. So do a video. Let me watch it. If you did one already, point me to it. I'll watch it. I want to see what you're talking about there. What else is being said here in chats? Tiny ladder it should have your attention, Jen. The tiny ladder, I'm telling you what, and when I did it in Wincraps, a test with $100 flats and $25 ladders. So I'm doing now 25 and 5, 100 with 25s. You should do 120, but 20s are a pain in the ass. 125s, I'm telling you what, that thing has the teeth. This is the reason why I did what I did with Ken's strategy, where I'm tiny laddering up the 4 and 10. Over time, that thing does better than a full ladder. It really does. it's super, super interesting. So yeah, that's interesting stuff. What else do we have here? I'm looking at the chats and see what else. Anything in the PC column for me? Jen said, oh yeah, bankroll decision. We're talking bankroll decision based on the when do you hedge or not hedge on the come outs for sure. Also, Jen, did my explanation make sense to you with regards to why the bankroll numbers were different? Like the current bankroll could be 5,025, but the total loss could be 1,000. I'm just stacking up the wins over time, but I'm in the moment resetting bankroll. Hope that made sense. I think oh yeah, I see, there it is. What else do we have? Any questions for me? Cues? Question, what if I lost my whole bankroll? Do I still tip? Yes, I still tip. Here's the thing, Chiro, and I didn't mean this. I worked in service industry for years. I was a waiter and a busboy for years, and whether the person out there has the money or not, right? When I was a waiter, I was making $2 an hour. Minimum wage back then was $3.35. We were making less than minimum wage working for tips, right? If you get good service, the U.S. industries are based on paying service workers very, very low, right? As an incentive to make them be awesome, and the customers give them tips. It does a couple of things. The business pays less money in payroll. They have more money to spend elsewhere. Ostensibly in a restaurant, they're buying better quality food, right? Or whatever. That's how that works. That's the way that economy works. Casinos is the same thing. They pay their staff very low wages, minimum wage, in the hopes that they provide great enough service to warrant getting tips from the customer. So if they do great service, they will get their tips, and it's kind of a symbiotic relationship. So whether or not I lost my ass, they're getting the tip. And I will oftentimes, you're losing your ass. You buy in for $1,000, you're down to your last $80, whatever, 66 inside, they're getting the last $16, and that's the way it's gonna be, right? That's just kind of how I'll roll it out there. Especially if they were good. If they're a good crew, they're fun. Take my money, make me smile, slap me on the ass on the way out the door. If they had fun, I had fun. That's what it's about. To me, it's the experience of it. And I'm all over helping out the service industry because I know how hard people work. It's, stand on your feet for 8 hours a day, dealing with a bunch of drunk morons, blowing, cigar smoke in their face. They deserve a tip. So yeah, even if I lose my bankroll, Chiro, I'm tipping for sure. John Pond, the 50,000 rolls were from whatever. They were from tables. The guy who did this logged them at a craps table or a series I'm sure that there are some setters in there. There are some practice shooters in there and a bunch of randos in there. It's a good set. The thing I like about that set of rolls is that we know that there are good and bad runs in there, which is cool. We also know that it's not computer generated RNG. So we don't want to have an RNG that gets into a zone, getting into like 57s in a row kind of thing. So that's the reason why I like that set. I have got another set of 50,000 rolls from a different subscriber that I can roll in there too. So I like the fact that we have live table rolls, and you're going to find those great and those shit runs in there. And so, John Pond, that's why I think it's pretty good. It does respect the bell curve, but there are big spikes in it. There's big good spikes and there's big don't pass spikes you'll find in there, but it does respect the whole bell. Matter of fact, I can probably show it to you. Let's see. If I go here, I'm not sure how to get there. If I go to, let me go here. This screen here. Statistics. I think it's statistics roll frequencies. No. Sorry. Statistics, roll totals. There we go. Here is the 30,000 rolls that we just did. You can see how close to that is. That's exactly the bell curve. I mean, it's like a little tiny, like the fives are like a delta of like a few rolls, not a big deal. Everything is right on. It's all spot on. It's just tiny. It's just timing. So, all right, there we go, guys. I'm gonna get out of here. It's 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock. That was a fun day. I got more work to do. The scripting for these things has work to be done. I want to make a generic don't pass script that basically says how much do you want your flat to be, how much odds do you want to play in each number, and have it auto calculate and put the odds for you. Maybe even a little lost leader type of thing in there, and have it ask you the questions and just play your script. And that way, when I do these kind of comparisons, one script, 5 players, and we'll take their input and do the thing with their input. That's how I'm going to try and get it done. didn't have time last night to do it, but the side-by-sides are fun. So hope you enjoyed that. Hope you got something out of it for sure. Progressive odds where it's at. The tiny ladder so far is where it's at. We'll see how the other bet progressions work tomorrow. So with that said, y'all have a good day. Oh yeah, question for Dice Doctor. The ladder up as you lose, down as you win. Exactly. It's $5 though. $25 flat, $5 ups, $5 downs, not full ladders. It's a 20% ladder. So that's it all. Have a good Tuesday. I'll see you later on. John's out. Bye.